Welcome to our deep dive all about Zeus,
Oh, yeah.
the king of the gods in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
We've got some really interesting source material today.
Okay.
It's a really detailed account of his life, his powers,
Right.
his family, and his impact.
Okay.
Not just in mythology, but even in like the modern world.
Yeah.
You might think you know Zeus from like all the familiar stories,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to kind of go beyond those.
Okay.
And uncover some
And nuances.
surprising nuances.
Yeah. What's fascinating about Zeus is how much his story resonates
Oh, yeah.
even today,
Right.
thousands of years after these myths were first told.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
Most people know Zeus as this all-powerful figure
Yeah.
ruling from Mount Olympus.
Of course.
But his journey to get there
Yeah.
was anything but straightforward.
It's a story of rebellion.
Yeah.
Starting with his very birth.
His father, Cronus, was this incredibly powerful
Mm-hmm.
but paranoid ruler.
Right.
He'd heard a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine the family dinners?
Talk about dysfunctional family dynamics.
Oh my gosh.
Cronus actually swallowed each of his children as they were born to prevent the prophecy from coming true.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that someone would go to such lengths
I know.
to hold on to power. But of course, that plan backfired spectacularly.
Yeah, Zeus's mother, Rhea,
Okay.
was clever enough to trick Cronus,
Oh,
giving him a rock
rock.
wrapped in swaddling clothes instead of the baby Zeus.
Oh my God.
And she then smuggled Zeus to the island of Crete,
Okay.
where nymphs raised him in secret.
Wow. So from the very beginning,
Yeah.
Zeus's life is marked by this defiance of fate,
Mhm.
this challenge to established authority,
Absolutely.
and that sets the stage for his eventual rise to power.
Yeah.
Once he was old enough, he returned,
Right.
challenged Cronus,
Wow.
forced him to disgorge his siblings.
That's gotta be rough.
Oh. And together, they waged a 10-year war against the Titans
Oh, wow.
for control of the cosmos.
That's a long war.
I know.
It's this epic clash,
Okay.
the Titanomachy,
Okay.
a battle for the very order of the universe
Wow.
that establishes Zeus as this dominant force.
Okay.
He leads the Olympians to victory,
Mhm.
claims the heavens as his domain,
Oh.
becoming the king of the gods.
So he finally gets there.
Yeah.
But even with all this power, he wasn't exactly a benevolent ruler.
Well, yeah, he wasn't exactly a saint.
Yeah, you're telling me.
His love life was legendary.
Oh my gosh, I know.
To put it mildly,
Yeah,
his constant infidelity created a lot of tension,
Right.
especially with his wife Hera,
of course.
and it resulted in a vast family tree
Oh yeah.
of both gods and demigods.
Okay, so we have this incredibly complex family dynamic
Right.
playing out on Mount Olympus.
It's a soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Zeus the king
Mm-hmm.
trying to maintain order,
Mm.
but also sowing chaos with his actions. And then you have all these other gods and goddesses
Mm-hmm.
with their own personalities and domains.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't brushed up on your Greek mythology lately, we're
Okay.
talking about Ares, the god of war,
Mm-hmm.
Athena, the goddess of wisdom,
Right.
Apollo, god of music and light,
Uh-huh.
Artemis, goddess of the hunt,
Okay.
Hermes, the messenger god.
I see.
It's a whole soap opera up there.
And each of these figures embodies different aspects of human nature,
Right.
from our creative impulses to
Yeah.
our darker instincts.
Okay.
Their stories explore themes of love, betrayal, ambition,
Okay.
and of course the struggle for power.
Let's not forget Zeus's impact on humanity.
Right.
One of the most famous stories involves Prometheus,
Yes.
who dared to steal fire from the gods and give it to mankind.
That's a big one.
I know. It's a story that raises so many interesting questions.
It's a complex moral dilemma.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have Zeus trying to protect his power, seeing this act as a direct challenge to his authority.
Right.
But on the other hand, you have Prometheus
Right.
recognizing humanity's potential
Okay.
and daring to help them progress.
It makes you wonder what Zeus's motivations really were.
Yeah.
Was he just being a control freak?
Hmm.
Or was he genuinely concerned about the consequences of
Mm.
humans having fire?
And that's one of the fascinating things about these myths.
Yeah.
They offer so much room for interpretation.
Okay.
They force us to consider different perspectives
Okay.
and grapple with these timeless questions about
Okay.
power knowledge
Okay.
and the relationship between gods and mortals.
What do you think knowing what we know now about fire being essential to civilization,
Yeah.
was Zeus right to punish Prometheus?
Right.
Or did he ultimately hinder human progress?
That's a tough one.
I
I mean,
know.
on one hand,
Yeah,
fire has brought about so much advancement,
right.
but it's also been used for destruction.
Right. It's almost like this double-edged sword, right? Yeah. And the myth of Pandora's box further complicates things,
Oh, yeah.
according to our sources.
Okay.
This was Zeus's way of punishing humanity
Okay.
for accepting the gift of fire.
So he's still mad about that.
Oh, yeah.
Pandora, the first woman created by the gods, was given a jar
Okay.
containing all the evils of the world. And of course, she couldn't resist opening it,
Of course not.
releasing all those evils into the world.
Right.
So even though fire brought progress, it also came with a hefty price.
It's a classic example of unintended consequences.
Yeah.
A cautionary tale about curiosity and the limits of human knowledge.
Wow.
And it raises the question, is knowledge always a good thing?
Mm.
Or can it sometimes be dangerous?
That's something to ponder for sure.
Yeah.
But before we get too lost in the philosophical weeds,
Okay.
let's talk about the aftermath
Right.
of Zeus's victory over the Titans.
Okay.
He established his rule on Mount Olympus,
Mm-hmm.
but he also had to deal with the aftermath of the war.
And establish order in this new world.
One of the most interesting things about Zeus is that he wasn't just a warrior king.
Okay.
He also had a strong sense of justice
Okay.
and a desire to maintain cosmic balance.
Right.
You could say he was the ultimate upholder of law and order
Right.
for both gods and mortals.
Right? In fact, our sources mention
Okay.
how protective Zeus was of travelers and beggars,
Oh, really?
demanding that they be treated with kindness and hospitality.
Interesting.
He even punished those who violated these principles,
Yeah.
often in pretty dramatic ways.
Oh, wow.
It's like he had this cosmic code of conduct
Good.
that everyone had to follow.
The ancient Greeks believed in Xenia,
Okay.
the sacred law of hospitality.
Oh.
Welcoming strangers and offering them shelter and protection
Okay.
was seen as a moral obligation.
Right.
And Zeus took this very seriously.
There's a story about King Lycaon
Okay.
who tried to trick Zeus by serving him human flesh.
Talk about bad manners.
That's a pretty extreme example.
Yeah, but it illustrates how seriously Zeus took these laws.
Okay.
He punished Lycaon by transforming him into a wolf,
Oh, wow.
which is a pretty fitting punishment, if you ask me.
So we've got this complex figure.
Yes.
A powerful king,
Mm-hmm.
a philanderer,
Yeah.
a protector of the vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and a dispenser of justice.
Yeah.
It's no wonder he's such an enduring figure in mythology.
Right.
But what's really mind-blowing
Mm.
is how his influence extends far beyond the realm of ancient myths.
That's what we'll be exploring next.
Okay.
We'll look at how Zeus's legacy is woven into the fabric of our world today, from the names we give to planets and constellations,
Wow.
to the ideas and values that continue to shape our culture.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Welcome back. You know, it's easy to think of Zeus
Yeah.
as this remote figure ruling from the top of Mount Olympus,
Mm.
but his influence wasn't confined to the heavens.
Right.
In fact, he played a pivotal role
Okay.
in the founding of several ancient cities, including one you've probably heard of, Athens.
Yeah, Athens.
Yeah.
The birthplace of democracy and philosophy
Right.
and those amazing temples.
Mm-hmm.
So how does Zeus fit into that story?
Well, according to our sources, it was actually a bit of a competition
Okay.
between Zeus and his brother,
Okay.
Poseidon,
Poseidon, god of the seas.
god of the seas.
Oh, so even the gods had sibling rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of comforting, actually.
Yeah.
Makes them seem a little more human, you know?
Right.
But what were they competing for exactly?
Bragging rights, basically.
Okay.
Both Zeus and Poseidon wanted to be the patron deity of this new city.
Okay.
They each saw the potential of this strategically located fertile land
Right.
and wanted to claim it for themselves.
So how did they settle this divine dispute? Did they arm wrestle?
Not quite.
Or maybe a chariot race across the sky?
Nothing quite that dramatic,
Okay.
but it was a showdown nonetheless.
Okay.
They decided to each offer a gift to the people of Athens and let them choose which gift was more valuable.
A divine popularity contest.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hooked.
Okay.
What did they offer?
Poseidon, being the god of the sea,
Okay.
struck his trident against a rock
Okay.
and outgushed a saltwater spring.
A saltwater spring.
It was a pretty impressive display of power, for sure.
Okay.
But let's be honest, salt water isn't exactly what you want
Yeah.
flowing from your tap.
Practical, but not exactly life-changing.
Right.
So what did Zeus offer?
Zeus, in a move that showed a bit more foresight,
Okay.
offered something a bit more sustainable.
Okay.
He gifted the Athenians an olive tree.
An olive tree.
An olive tree.
It doesn't seem as flashy as a saltwater spring,
Right.
at least not at first glance.
True, but the olive tree was a symbol of peace and prosperity.
Okay.
It provided food oil for light and cooking.
Right.
Wood for building it was a gift that kept on giving.
Ah, so Zeus was playing the long game.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing the Athenians recognize that.
They did.
Oh,
They
good.
chose Zeus's gift. Okay.
Realizing its long-term value and potential for growth.
Okay.
And so Zeus became the patron deity of Athens,
Wow.
which flourished under his protection,
Okay.
eventually becoming a center of culture and learning.
So it's not just brute force that wins the day.
Right.
Sometimes it's about understanding people's needs
Exactly.
and providing something truly valuable.
It's a good reminder that true leadership isn't just about power.
Yeah.
It's about wisdom and foresight.
Okay.
And I think this story also reveals something about how the ancient Greeks viewed the relationship between the gods and humanity.
What do you mean?
Well, the fact that they held this contest, that they allowed the humans to choose their patron,
Right.
suggests a level of respect for human agency and decision-making.
Okay.
It wasn't just the gods dictating terms. There was this element of collaboration, of partnership.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It makes sense, especially considering this is the city that would eventually give rise to democracy.
Right.
And even though Zeus was a king, he wasn't a tyrant.
He believed in justice, in upholding the laws,
Okay.
and in protecting the vulnerable.
We already talked about how seriously he took the concept of hospitality.
Exactly.
But there are other examples of his role as a dispenser of justice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our sources describe how Zeus was constantly intervening in human affairs,
Okay.
punishing those who were wicked
Right.
and rewarding those who were righteous.
So he was keeping everyone in line,
He was seen as the ultimate arbiter of right and wrong.
sort of like the cosmic judge, making sure everyone stayed in line.
Exactly.
I guess even the gods needed someone to keep them accountable.
Right.
And this is another aspect of Zeus that I think is so fascinating.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a figure of raw power. He was also a moral force, a symbol of order and justice.
And I think that's part of what makes him such a compelling and enduring figure.
Okay.
He embodies both our aspirations for power and our desire for a just world, a world where good triumphs over evil. It makes me think about how these ancient myths continue to resonate with us today.
Yeah.
Even though we live in a very different world,
Right.
we're still grappling with many of the same questions.
Exactly.
How do we balance individual freedom with societal order? How do we use our power responsibly?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be just and compassionate?
Right. These are timeless questions.
Yeah.
And the myths, in their own way, offer us different perspectives,
Right.
different ways of thinking about these complex issues.
And speaking of timeless, let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about how Zeus's influence has literally been written into the stars.
Okay.
We've got planets, constellations, even continents named after him and his family.
It's a testament to the enduring power of these stories.
Yeah.
How they've shaped our understanding of the cosmos, even the way we map and name the celestial bodies.
Okay.
Think about the planet Jupiter,
Okay.
the largest planet in our solar system.
It's named after the Roman equivalent of Zeus, isn't it?
Exactly. Okay.
And some of Saturn's moons, like Titan and Epimetheus.
Okay.
Those names are taken straight from the Titanomachy,
Right.
that epic battle that we talked about earlier.
Wow. It's amazing how those stories are woven into our understanding of space.
Yeah.
And it's not just planets and moons.
Right.
We've got the continent of Europe, named after Europa, one of Zeus's many, many lovers.
Of many.
And let's not forget the constellation Gemini,
Yes.
which represents Castor and Pollux, Zeus's twin sons.
Exactly.
It's a reminder that these stories are not just confined to the pages of ancient texts. They're literally looking down on us from the night sky.
Exactly.
It's like these echoes of ancient myths are all around us, if you know where to look.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
In the next part, we'll delve even deeper into Zeus's enduring legacy,
Okay.
exploring how his influence can be seen in our art literature language,
Wow.
even our political systems.
Welcome back. We've been on quite a journey exploring the world of Zeus, haven't we?
From his dramatic origin story
Yeah.
to his rise to power
Right.
and his impact on both the divine and the mortal realms.
Absolutely.
We even explored how his name is scattered across the cosmos.
Literally written in the stars.
So it's amazing to think that his influence goes far beyond planets and constellations.
It really does. Zeus's story continues to resonate in the modern world,
Okay.
shaping our art, literature, language, even our ideas about leadership.
So where do we see this influence playing out today?
Well, think about all the incredible works of art inspired by Greek mythology.
Okay.
From classical sculptures and Renaissance paintings
Right.
to modern-day films and novels.
Okay.
Zeus, as the king of the gods,
Right.
often takes center stage.
Yeah.
He becomes this representation of power, authority,
Okay.
and even the struggle against fate.
You see it everywhere.
Yeah,
Like in those dramatic paintings of the Titanomachy,
exactly.
or in sculptures of Zeus wielding his thunderbolt.
Right.
It's not just visual art.
Right.
Literature is also full of references to Zeus and the Olympian gods.
Oh, yeah. You see it in Shakespeare's plays.
Okay.
The works of romantic poets like Keats and Shelley, and even
Right.
in contemporary novels.
It's fascinating how these ancient stories have become so deeply embedded in our cultural DNA.
It really is.
And it's not just through art and literature.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way we speak is influenced by Greek mythology.
Oh, absolutely.
Think about words like Titanic, Herculean, Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
They become part of our everyday language,
Right.
evoking that grandeur and power of Zeus and his world.
It's like these little linguistic time capsules
Yeah.
carrying the weight of those ancient stories with them.
What about the influence of Greek mythology on our ideas about leadership and governance?
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
While Zeus was a king,
Okay.
the Athenian democracy flourished under his patronage,
Right.
paving the way for many modern forms of government.
So even though he was this all-powerful figure,
Yeah.
he didn't impose a tyrannical rule on Athens. He allowed them to develop their own system of self-governance.
That's a key point.
Yeah.
Because it suggests a belief in the potential of humans to govern themselves,
Okay.
to create a society based on laws and principles,
Mm-hmm.
rather than the whims of a single ruler.
Right.
And those ideas about democracy and citizenship have certainly influenced our modern world.
It's incredible to think about how these ideas first explored thousands of years ago
Yeah.
still have such a profound impact on our lives today.
really do.
And the influence of Greek mythology goes even deeper.
Okay.
It even shapes our understanding of the human psyche.
Oh, absolutely.
The field of psychology is filled with concepts that have their roots in Greek myths,
Right.
like the Oedipus complex, for example,
do.
named after the tragic Greek hero who unknowingly killed his father and married his mother.
That's right. And that myth explores these really complex family dynamics and the powerful, sometimes subconscious forces
Right.
that drive human behavior.
Yeah.
It's a theme that continues to resonate in literature, film,
Right.
even our understanding of ourselves.
So Zeus's legacy is about so much more than just a few names on planets
Oh, yeah.
or sculptures in museums.
Right.
It's about these enduring narratives that continue to shape our understanding of the world,
It is.
ourselves, and our place in the universe.
Precisely. These myths passed down through generations
Wow.
continue to offer valuable insights into human nature, our aspirations, our flaws, and our eternal quest for meaning.
And they remind us of the timeless struggles against fate, the complexities of power, and the importance of justice and compassion.
Well said.
I think we've covered a lot of ground here, but I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
There's so much more.
There's so much more to explore in the world of Zeus in Greek mythology.
Absolutely. And we encourage you to continue exploring these fascinating stories.
Right.
Each one offers a unique perspective on the human experience.
Okay.
And they continue to resonate with us today,
Yeah.
offering wisdom and insights that are as relevant now as they were thousands of years ago.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Zeus.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring the myths,
Yeah.
uncovering the hidden meanings, and discovering the enduring legacy of this powerful and complex figure.
Until next time.
Until next time.